So, Coach, you have Corbin come in a pretty precarious situation. First college action ever. He's kind of getting thrust into the lineup in replacement for Lucas. What did you tell him before this game to kind of prepare him for this?
I mean, first thing I did was I called him in and said anything that we're doing is based upon what I've been seeing from him. So, I wanted him to know that I watch practice every day. I see what he's been doing. I see how he's coming along. I see what his strengths are. I see what he brings to the table. And as we're going to need somebody to play, I just wanted him to know that it's because of who he is and how he plays that we're going to go in that direction with him. Because it's true. I just watch him. He's got great demeanor. He can pass the basketball. I've always enjoyed, for me, undersized centers have always done, pretty well in our offense, with certain personality. Like he's stone-faced, nothing bothers him. He's got skills. He can pass. Obviously, I knew he'd do well. You know what I mean? I knew it was going to be important for the guys around him, whoever the four were, to play well, to help him play well, and for him to help them. And that's all I talked to him and the team about heading into the game. And really, the other main point was, and this is why you have to understand, this is college basketball, Any second that you spend going, how come I'm not playing, or I'm better than him, or and somebody tells you, why aren't you playing, or somebody, you're better than him, why isn't it good? Well, that's just a waste of time because that's got nothing to do with college basketball. It's got nothing to do with our team. It has nothing to do with the day's going to come and you're going to be called upon. And any amount of time you've spent hearing that, listening to that, thinking that, boy, oh boy, is that going to get in the way when your number's called. And I thought our guys did a really good job with that in general, and that's the type of team we're trying to build. That's the type of program we're trying to have, where you embrace your role, whatever that role is, and you be as an all-star at that role, because everybody's got one. And that's and today was proof of why it's done that way, because then when you call upon somebody, they come through for you and they help the team. And the kid deserves a lot of credit for that. Because he's always just sort of stuck to the task. And when you do, well, something like this happens. And, now he's played and he'll be on a scouting report. They'll know who he is. And, things will change. But you know what? Just keep doing what he's been doing. Have our team keep coming along the way our team is, because I think overall everybody played well. And the areas where we needed to see improvement, we saw improvement today. And I think it was a lot of improvement. So that, that makes me feel good about, continuing to see even more improvement going forward.
You said kind of the guys around him really needed to step up. Well, you have Camden beat his career high by halftime. You have Jake, a little more open tonight. He's able to hit some shots. I mean, what did the guys around him do that you think kind of helped that comfortability, because he really showed it?
Well, I mean, I think it cuts both ways. I mean, I just think our execution was way better, whether that's we're continuing to slim things down, our guys are getting a better feel for it. We're getting to where certain of those guys are playing together more for extended periods of time. And I thought their execution around him was better. And then, you know what? He's the kind of guy who, the way he plays, he can help them. He threw some really nice passes. He's calm with the ball in his hands. And I think that sort of came together. I mean, that's what I thought. Again, I didn't think he maybe would be as good individually, but those guys around him, I knew how important it was going to be for them to help him, like I said, so he can help, them. And that's really ultimately in the end what our offense is. When our offense is running the right way, that's really what it is. He's a little bit of that position's a little bit of a hub. The guys around him, he calms them down a little bit, and then they help him by how well they cut and move and execute and play together. And I saw a lot of improvement in that area tonight.
What type of loss is it to not have Lucas for the rest of the year? And what's the biggest thing that maybe changes for you guys, either offensively or defensively, in his stead?
Well, I mean, obviously, the defensive end, the size, the shot blocking, we're going to see how that does. What are we going to do to make up for that? You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to defend, And now Corbin's got a body, and he's got a big body, and he's really strong. But it's going to make us sort of have to look at our defense as we maintain our fundamentals and just see what we can do, because without him, it's definitely going to have an impact there. And then obviously rebounding wise. So, that's just the way it goes. I think it's unfortunate for Lucas, obviously, to have a, be injured and have that. But like I said to the guys, sometimes when you have that, when you go about your business the right way and you have that adversity, because there was adversity with no Lucas and no Nick when the way we've been playing. And sometimes if you have that right type of teamwork and guys embracing their roles and just pouring in that way and being sponges, sometimes you find that adversity is the thing that actually makes you grow, and I see that. But to your point, there's going to come times and situations where, how are we going to handle that? And like anything, it could be, well, our offense has to be better than, the execution down there, because the better that is, the more it'll take away whatever they're trying to do to take advantage of some of these things. But I think that's going to be a game-by-game, matchup-by-matchup type of thing, depending on how teams play, what their strengths are. And no matter what, from a depth standpoint, at that position, we're going to have to try. And Bo went in there tonight. It was nice to see him hit that three-point shot at the end. He obviously was in there the first time, and he was a little deer in the headlights, but, that's to be expected. So, but somewhere in there, we might get about to make sure we have some depth at that position. But, obviously feel much better right now than I did. We had two really good practices. I was very confident in Corbin and Bo. Just glad to see them really step up and sort of the guys were confident in them. And it's just good to see that when a team sort of comes together that way.
So Corbin, first game ever in college. What kind of got you so prepared? Because you didn't look like you had any of those jitters. How'd you get so prepared for this?
It was just my teammates cheering me on and getting me through it, through practices, and coach being on my butt. That was pretty much it.
So, first freshman in your first start since 1999 to get a double-double. What was your mindset coming into this? Because it's a lot of pressure trying to replace Lucas, but how did you try to do it in your own way?
I just wanted to go out there and play and execute the offense and win.
And so with how the offense went tonight, how much can you guys build off of this? Because this is the best it's been all year so far. How do you build off of this Wednesday and then in ensuing games?
I think there's a couple areas where we could all clean it up and just work on the efficiency of the offense and make it faster, and I think we'll be better.
What'd the guys tell you in the locker room after the game?
Just a lot of cheering and flexing.
Camden, what was it like to see a freshman do that? Obviously a huge blow to find out Lucas is going to be out for the year, but then he just steps in. You guys have arguably your best game of the year. What went so well, and how impressed were you by Corbin?
It's a big blow. Lucas out, and then we had two people. Our other two bigs were sick today, so we need someone to step up, and Corbin filled that role. We were practicing all week trying to prepare him for it, get ready, and he blew our expectations out of the water. He came out with energy, he hit that one just buzzer beater three out of nowhere. That's just, he came out with energy, which is big and huge, and this big, strong guy, his physical play. And he, like I said, he blew the expectations out of the water, and we were super happy for him, and hopefully we can get some more of that in the future from him.
Someone would assume when you lose Lucas, that next game you're probably going to lose the rebounding battle. Well, you guys arguably had your best rebounding game of the year, too. What was the mindset as far as the boards went? What was the mindset on the boards tonight?
Big thing on rebounds is just gang rebound. We knew we lost Lucas, big part of our board game, but we knew that guards could come fly in. We knew Corbin being there. Regis always flying in for boards. And it was just a kind of a team effort on that. Since we did know we lost Lucas on that. And big blow, we lost Lucas, lost Nick, and just everyone came together and was like, hey, let's go. We got to attack these boards, get these guys out of the paint.
You had a couple big breakaways, a couple big threes. How much as a senior were you maybe trying to set the tone a little bit for the offense?
I don't know if I was trying to set tone. I think it's everyone around me. Just people was trying to one-up each other a little bit, and it's just high energy, lots of fun out there. I was kind of trying to set some energy, trying to set some precedent, trying to get the offense going a little bit. Some people were missing shots, but it's huge for when I am kind of hitting those shots. It feels good, get a little energy going with it.
Probably best defense and best offensive performance, maybe both in the same game. How do you build off of this into Wednesday?
We just kind of coming to practice tomorrow. It's a one-day short break until the next game. Try and build off this kind of energy, build off this performance. Try and nail down what we did mess up. Because, like I said, even though last time we scored this many points, but we got to drill down what we did mistake on. Like the second half, they came with a lot of pressure. It was kind of first little bit we were kind of struggling with our offense. We got to be able to drill that down, try and get as close to perfection as we can.